Hello and welcome to Digital Cafe Pop In and Learn. Today's topic is learning how to work in the safe zone, looking at trim view versus the safe zone and why that's important. And then I'm going to refresh everybody's memory on how to go onto the community and put feature requests out there and how to vote on existing ones. When you're working in a project, and I'm in the 2-page bound view, this is the trimmed view. If you go up to your print guides on the top right of your page and you hit print guides, the bleed area is the full image, edge to edge. Trim is trimmed into the printing process, but safe zone is, they want you to leave room in the cutting process. It might cut in beyond the trim line to the safe zone. And my sample book that I have with me today shows what it looks like when you don't pay attention to the safe zone. Here's a few examples of what I'm talking about, what it looks like on my screen versus what I got when it was printed. This is a snip I took of a 2-page spread in the View Spreads 2 bound pages. And you can see that on the left-hand side, there is some space around my photos, and on the right-hand side, there's some space along the edge. Again, this is trimmed view. When I did the print preview, this is what I saw, that there was going to be space around the outside. Then, and again, this is a photo of a printed book, but you can see right here, there is no, hardly any space at all there. So my photo is safe. It's inside the safe zone. It's not going to be cut off. But when I designed the layout, I didn't design it for it to be right on the edge. Same thing here. My map is not cut off. It's safe. It's in the book, but that's not how I designed it. Go to the next one. This one, I did have the photo right on near the edge, but this one I had more space on the edge. But the printed book, it was off the edge and right next to the edge. So there wasn't that space I was expecting. And the third example, again, it wasn't on the edge. It was within the safe zone, but, and then here I expected kind of space to be around the edge, both sides. But the printed book, it's right up to that. And I understand through the print process, they can't control this. You have to allow for it. But just so that I'm happy, I would like to see, push this in so that my design, the paper that I expect to be wrapping around the page would just show up. There were some pages that were actually shifted, which allowed them to reprint my book. Yay. But I don't want you to get a book that you're unhappy with. I want you to be happy with it. And let's go to a new page. When I did the initial book, the pictures were all the way out to this. It's probably hard for you to see. Let me zoom in. It's this green dotted line right here. It's really hard to see. It's a lot easier to see what's not there and what is. And if we put this on, it's really hard to see that line. I don't want my picture to be right on the edge of the page. I usually like there to be some paper or design component around it showing, unless I want the picture to go off the edge of the page on purpose. And so normally I work within the trim view and I'm happy with what it looks like left and right. And when they trimmed my last book, it was almost every page was on the safe zone. So I have many, many pages that are trimmed right at the edge of my pictures. I always, consider that rule of just in case. Well, the just in case was every case for that book. And so I want to, going forward, make sure I leave extra space between the edge so that my photo's right on the edge, my text is right not on the edge. So even though it's inside and not getting cut off, it doesn't look good to me to have the photo right on the edge of the page. And when you're checking before printing, turn the print guides on, check to make sure that you got some space above and on the left that are going to be around it within that safe zone. So your print preview is also trimmed view. So just know that if like, oh, it looked good in the print preview, well, that is the trim view, not the safe zone view. So not just having this word inside of the safe, but having a space between it and the edge. Otherwise, it looks like the word is sitting right on the edge of the page. Or I had this Deer Park Road and it was right on the edge of the page. You do want it to have it a little bit within that safe zone. Again, it's hard to explain between what you get printed and on the screen. And so what I am advocating for is to have them change this. And if you agree with me, then I'll show you how to vote. I would like to see the safe zone. I don't want to see something I'm not getting. So if it's a little bit wider than this and I have more of my page, yay, but I don't want to have it trimmed off and I have to guess because it's hard to see. Like here, you can't even see the safe zone markers. So you're just kind of guessing at what's going to be trimmed off. When you go out to Forever, to get to where I'm going to ask you to vote, and you don't have to, but I'm going to ask anyway. Go to the bottom and go to Help Center, and it's going to open up a new window. And then if you haven't done this before, it'll ask you to create a login. If you created a login before, it might ask you to sign in up here. I've already signed in. I'm going to go to the community. And then down here, you can do a feature request. So you love a product, but want to see some features that don't currently exist. Give us the details here. Or product requests. Have a feedback about a product or a product you'd like to see at Forever. Please give us details here. So this is something new. This is changing or adjusting something they already have. I did here and did new post. And then I named it. I gave the details. I picked the topic. So it's a feature request tag. So, you know, they have a list of tags out here. So I said Artisan and then I hit submit. The home office does review these. And once they've approved it, it's out there for voting. So if you go to community and log in, go to feature requests, it's the very first one. Artisan preview show safe trim view. Up here, you would click follow. And then that means you agree and you can comment down here. Like Cheryl Frey said, I totally agree. Like here, I am so tired of telling them that it needs to be 1/4 inch inside that line. Makes no sense to them. They would just rather see what they have to use. So this is my thinking. If you don't agree, you know, you don't have to follow it and say that you agree. But if you do want them to change it, the more people that vote on it, it moves it up importance level for the engineers to make that adjustment. And actually they are talking about it already when I mentioned that suggestion. And so I thought I would put it out there for a vote. So that's my topic for today. Be sure to go out and vote today. Thanks for watching.